Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you are well. I'm going to show you a few bits and pieces here with tips and tricks on how to get your models fitted together. So you're going to see this plate here populate with different models because I'm going to pause the video every now and again. I'm going to come back to the thing that I'm showing you. The first thing I'm going to show you is how the printer actually works, and the printer works from the bottom and starts to build layers as it gets higher and higher and higher. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just pause this. I'm going to show you a block that I'm going to put onto the plate. So here you can see that I put a simple cube and a simple cylinder that's see-through. I'm going to turn this into a peg and a hole. So I'll make sure that this is fully 64, and then what I'm going to do is just click off this, align it, and just make sure that everything is simple. And then I'm going to put it together like this and just drag this into this peg and hole. Now, what I'm going to make sure is that my partner has this at the same depth as well, because I want to make sure that this is, let's put it at 21 millimeters. There we go, that'll be fine. So it's about half a millimeter out, and then we're going to go and join it together. Now, how this prints will be it'll totally work. Okay, things will not print if they have holes this way round. We can print like this for sure, but you need to make sure that you are using that hole structure here. If you have anything inside here that's resting, it will have supports that go through here, and the printer will put in supports in here. Okay, so let's go and show you how this is going to look if it's going to need supports. Now, if I have an object that's like this and it's hanging off the side, this is going to need supports going all the way through here. Okay, so if you have an object that looks like this, okay, and they join together like that, and they're one object, so I've just grouped this together, you're going to have supports going all the way through here. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I'm going to export this and put it into my 3D printer software. So here I am inside my 3D printer software. This is the same software that I'm going to be using at school, and it's the same for the same printers. And if I show you, this is the object we've just gone and made, and there's the hole underneath. Now this will print relatively cleanly, but it'll print with supports because it's got to go and make a bridge across here. Okay, which means that it'll put in supports. So if I go to my slice plate and just show you at the moment, you can see I get just above my head here is a yellow warning. It's telling me I need to go and put in supports. So I've got this thing hanging over the edge, and you can see that it's gone blue and purple like that. So what I need to do is go and put in supports now, and then just have a look to see how this is going to look with my supports. Let's go and redo this and put the supports in. So now you can see that this bit in green is where the supports need to go, and underneath there, that is a solid piece of support. It's going to be very hard to get out once it starts printing. This bit is not going to be not so bad. However, where it starts to get more complicated is that if you have sort of pieces that are only joined together with little touches that are smaller than about 2 millimeters or about 1.5 millimeters. Here is probably, if we can probably see that this is, well, it's about 5 millimeters. Okay, so there's enough material touching both the head here and the body of this object. Let's go and quickly go back into TinkerCAD, and let's go and have a look at something that some people will have gone and made themselves using very fine and small objects. So here I am back inside TinkerCAD, and what I've done is just search for some objects, and this is what some people have done, and it's okay. However, the plan is that we make an original object, that we make an original thing from what we've learned so far over the past 6 weeks. So I'm going to go and grab an object that I know some people may have used, something like this. Now on the surface it seems like it's going to be a really nice object to go and print. However, if we look here, this piece here is only 4 millimeters high. That means that these legs are quite possibly 3 millimeters, with this solar panel here being 1 millimeter. This is going to be very difficult to print. We're going to have to print it upside down. It's going to be printed in many pieces. so the legs are facing up. Now, there is another issue. Many people will have used many of these and will have aligned them up and had many of them, which means that they need to be printed upside down, all of them. Now they will have the legs inside these objects. They will have the legs inside a floor, for example. Let's go and have a look to see what that looks like. So here I am with a floor, and I'm going to go and check the floor out here. Now we could probably get away with the floor being 2mm if it's completely flat and other things are built on top of it. The problem arises now is allowing these to be joined together. When we export them, they've got to be joined together anyway. So they're going to go and change colors, and they're going to, unless they're an object like this, they're going to change colors into a single color. Now this is all joined now as one piece. Okay, they're all joined as one piece. These joins here may be okay. These pieces probably won't. Anything that's sort of less than a millimeter in contact is going to be quite hard to print. So let's go and have a look to see what this is going to look like with printing. Okay, let's go and see what material is being used, especially where it's got to go and put the supports in green inside the software. Okay, so here we are, last bit now. I'm just going to show you how tricky this is going to be to print, and just think about the material that's going to be here. So I'm going to go and slice the plate now, and you can see that in that 4mm of depth, we probably have about half of the material. Let's say that's 6mm. At least 2.5mm of it is going to be supports. So we're not going to be able to take those supports out, and it's certainly not going to be able to print around those legs that are here. So this is the same for anything that's hanging over the edge. What you're going to have to do is, in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can still have many pieces, but you're going to have many components, which is why we're running the lessons about putting pegs in holes and different things and sharing it with your teammate to make sure that they all fit together. Because we can't print materials and models that look like that, because they'll just come out in a big blob and mostly support. All right, so think about your models, go back and evaluate and have a look, see what you're making. Okay, as always, good luck.